You're going to hear an audio tape of Grandma Iole Banker, Grandma Iole Martinat Banker, and I'm going to show you photos of the family. These next 4 photos were taken in our yard. I like Grandma Iole's smile there. That's where I'd usually put her wheelchair in the yard. On the west side of the house, so she'd be in the shade. The house kind of made a little shade there by mid to late afternoon, which was by the time we'd get out there usually. And sometimes we'd make a little stop like this in the garden before an outing, or right when we got home from an outing most often. Once in a great while it was the outing. And Grandma Iole is going to be speaking from back in 2002. So she was about 79 or almost 80 then. This is just a little clip, day in the life. She was helping me read a book for my college classes. It was always nice to read together just to make it less boring, and we could do something together. And she was interested too in learning new things, which was nice. But mostly I think she just wanted to help me read, help me do my work. Anything she could do to help me, she wanted to do. So, sure was a pretty rose. You can see a little bit of on the left there, this onion plant that she liked. So I got one for us from the San Gabriel Nursery.
Cultures. Successful and even in 5 minutes.
Oops.
From the influence of their host cultures. Successful and even in 5 minutes. Gotcha.
Oops. I don't have the volume turned up.
Influence of their host cultures. Successful and even in 5 minutes. Gotcha. Where are we going? El Cholo. Oh, Cholo. What do you like to get there? I got to get the number 6. I think that's one enchilada, which I'm going to split with you. And this time I'm going to get with chicken, because I like it with chicken. No? You don't like it with chicken?
I mean, if you like with chicken.
No, I
you're just giving it for me.
Yeah.
I just like a bite of Mom's.
Oh, all right.
Just a bugger.
Okay.
Successful and
instead of black beans, why don't you get the other beans? You like those better.
No, I like the black beans.
Well, how come you always eat my refried beans?
Because you don't finish them.
Okay.
But you're welcome to finish them.
That's because I think you want them.
No, I don't want them. Because then I eat them, I get sick. So you finish yours.
I don't eat them all.
Yeah. Successful Anabaptist sects.
So, yeah, we'd like to go to El Cholo restaurant, and this is, I think, when definitely, we were still living over at UCLA Westwood. They had an El Cholo over there. And I imagine we probably got the flan after. Look at that beautiful rose. Mostly beautiful Wolfie. Yeah, I was looking at her medical reports today from, you see, way back in the early 2000s to mid-2000s, like 2005 or 6 this report came from. I think it was 2006. And she had a CT scan done of her kidneys, with and without contrast. And it showed that even back then, on her right kidney area, she had some hydronephrosis, which is extra fluid in the right kidney, kind of like swelling in the right kidney. And that's the same kidney that she had that benign mass on, the benign tumor, 5.5 centimeters or something on the, more or less, I think, either the top or the middle, I think on top, more or less, of that right kidney. So maybe because of that mass, it was already a little bit damaged because it was holding the fluid. It wasn't keeping up with as much as she drank, which wasn't that much. The right kidney, even in 2006, was already a little bit swollen with extra fluid in there. So maybe that right kidney was already kind of damaged from that by 2020, if that, got worse, say. And all those years, too, of having that issue. So, by 2020, even before the infection, maybe her right kidney was already a little bit swollen and holding on to urine, just kind of backing up the fluid, backing up in there, and having excess fluid in there. So that's probably why she didn't respond well to the IV when she had the IV for 8 hours at our house the day before she had to go to the hospital. I'm sure it was definitely in large part because of the infection that her kidney was damaged, but maybe somebody that didn't have a kidney that was damaged from all those years of having fluid backing up in it, maybe because of the tumor, maybe they could have handled that extra fluid better than she did. And you could also say that maybe if she never even got an infection and didn't die from that or from complications from diabetes, you could think that maybe that would have been her ultimate problem, where the benign tumor would have squeezed the kidney a little bit too much, so it backed up even more fluid. And although that was just one kidney, maybe she could have, survived a little bit with just having the other kidney working okay. But maybe at some point there'd be enough fluid backing up in the right kidney that it would be causing problems or pain or something. So maybe she would have lived longer, but the doctors might have eventually said, you need a nephrostomy to have the tubes put in the kidney to drain the fluid out of the kidney. And I know she wouldn't have been comfortable with those tubes sticking out of her back because she couldn't stand up or anything. She was always laying on her back or, sitting down, but still leaning on her back. So I think that might have eventually become an issue. Although I still do think she would have lived longer and could have enjoyed a few more years, but that's just my guess. I guess you could call it an educated guess about what might have ended up happening if she hadn't died, quote unquote, early from the infection, sepsis, kind of complications of diabetes. So this is the view from where Grandma Iole would sit in her wheelchair in the house when I took her out to the garden at 9863. I'd put her right there where this photo was taken, So she'd be right next to all these plants, the rose and the other pink flower down at the bottom there is like a crown of thorns, and then 2 onion plants that she liked. And she'd see the bench that I got and put there, and she was close enough to see the Palo Verde tree, the small little yellow flowers everywhere on it when it was in bloom. So that was her view right there. I had a couple more plants. There was a, what do you call that? The Hawaiian plant that's expensive. Oh, well. And there's my mom, Yolanda Lani, that's the new hair salon that Sonia moved to. Also on First Avenue, but not on the corner of Wheeler. This was a little bit south of there, kind of by the schools. And I guess that's it. So I'm just trying to figure out my mom's age there. I'd say this was probably taken in 2019 or 2018. So, probably in her late 70s. So, maybe 77 or 76 years old. She was one of those ages in this picture. She does look a lot better with her hair done. With her hair done like that. A lot younger than not having it done. But she still looks good with it not done.